Hello and welcome to Listen to English. I hope we will have a great time together. This is a B1 level English listening practice video. The sentences are clear and natural to help intermediate learners improve step by step. If you would like to practice listening at different levels, you can check the other playlists on our channel. Today's topic is the 10 hidden traits of the Aquarius man. While you learn about his personality, you will also improve your English listening skills. If you find our videos useful, please support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us create more content for you. If you recognize any of the celebrities mentioned in this video, tell us in the comments. Are you ready? Let's begin. Enjoy listening.
Hidden trait 1, he detaches to protect his emotions. An Aquarius man is often described as cold or emotionally distant, but one of his most misunderstood hidden traits is that he detaches to protect his emotions. He is not heartless. In fact, he feels deeply. The problem is not the lack of emotion. The problem is vulnerability. From a young age, he may learn that strong emotions create chaos, drama, or disappointment. Because of this, he develops a habit of stepping back instead of reacting immediately. When he is hurt, he does not always argue or complain. He becomes quiet, he observes, he thinks. This emotional distance is his defense system. In relationships, this can confuse his partner. They may feel that he does not care enough, but the truth is different. When he pulls away, he is usually trying to understand what he feels before expressing it. He prefers clarity over emotional explosions. If he feels overwhelmed, he disconnects temporarily to regain control. This does not mean he wants to end the relationship. It means he needs space to process. The Aquarius man values emotional independence. He does not want to depend on someone in a way that makes him feel weak. At the same time, he secretly hopes someone will understand his silence without forcing him to speak. If he feels emotionally safe, he slowly opens up. When he trusts deeply, his loyalty becomes very strong. But that trust takes time. Understanding this hidden trait changes everything. He is not distant because he does not care. He distances himself because he cares too much and does not want to lose control of his inner world. Hidden trait 2, he feels different from everyone else. One of the most hidden traits of the Aquarius man is that he often feels different from everyone else. Even when he is surrounded by people, he may feel slightly separate. This does not mean he dislikes others. In fact, he usually enjoys social environments and interesting conversations. But deep inside, he may feel that his way of thinking is not the same as most people's. From a young age, he may notice that he asks unusual questions, has uncommon interests, or sees problems from a unique perspective. While others focus on simple topics, he may think about the future, technology, society, or human behavior. Because of this difference, he sometimes feels misunderstood. Instead of trying to change himself to fit in, he often accepts his individuality. However, this acceptance can come with quiet loneliness. He may not talk about it, but he notices when people do not fully understand his ideas. In relationships, this trait becomes important. He does not just want love, he wants mental connection. He wants someone who understands his strange jokes, his unexpected thoughts, and his long conversations about abstract ideas. If he feels intellectually alone in a relationship, he slowly loses interest. Not because of emotion, but because of connection. He respects people who think independently and challenge him mentally. When he finds someone who truly understands his perspective, he becomes more open and expressive. This hidden feeling of being different explains why he values originality so much. He is not trying to be unique for attention. He simply experiences the world in a different way. And when someone appreciates that difference instead of criticizing it, he becomes deeply loyal and surprisingly warm. Hidden trait 3, he needs mental stimulation more than emotional drama. An Aquarius man does not respond well to emotional drama, and one of his hidden traits is that he needs mental stimulation more than emotional intensity. While some people look for passionate arguments or dramatic expressions of love, he looks for ideas, discussions, and intellectual excitement. If a relationship is full of emotional ups and downs but lacks meaningful conversation, he quickly feels tired. He may not say it directly, but constant drama makes him disconnect. He prefers calm discussions where both sides can explain their thoughts clearly. For him, attraction begins in the mind. If he finds someone intelligent, curious, and open-minded, he becomes interested. A deep conversation can excite him more than romantic gestures. This does not mean he has no emotions. He simply believes that a strong mental connection creates stable emotions. When he feels mentally bored, his energy drops. He may become quiet or distant, not because he is unhappy with the person, but because he needs intellectual movement. He enjoys learning new things with his partner, discussing future plans, or exploring unusual topics. In conflicts, he tries to stay rational. If the other person reacts only emotionally without logic, he may feel misunderstood. He respects people who can express feelings calmly and clearly. Understanding this hidden trait explains why he may appear detached in dramatic situations. He is not avoiding love, he is avoiding chaos. When he finds a partner who stimulates his mind and respects his need for thoughtful communication, he becomes engaged, loyal, and surprisingly attentive. For an Aquarius man, the brain is the door to the heart. Hidden trait 4, he is more sensitive than he admits. An Aquarius man often presents himself as calm, logical, and emotionally controlled, but one of his most hidden traits is that he is more sensitive than he admits. He does not like appearing weak or overly emotional, so he learns to manage his reactions carefully. However, this does not mean he is unaffected by words or actions. In fact, criticism can stay in his mind for a long time. Even if he laughs or changes the subject, he remembers how something made him feel. The difference is that he processes emotions internally instead of expressing them openly. When someone disappoints him, he may not argue immediately. Instead, he becomes quieter and more distant. This distance is not always anger, sometimes it is hurt. He prefers to protect his dignity rather than show emotional pain. In relationships, this trait can create misunderstandings. His partner may think he does not care deeply because he does not react dramatically. The truth is often the opposite. He cares so much that he chooses silence to avoid saying something he might regret. He values emotional control and self-respect. At the same time, he secretly hopes someone will notice the small changes in his behavior and understand that something is wrong. He does not easily ask for emotional reassurance, but he appreciates it when it is given naturally. Understanding this hidden trait changes the way people see him. Behind his rational and independent personality, there is a sensitive man who feels deeply but protects his inner world carefully. When he feels emotionally safe, he becomes softer, warmer, and much more open than most people expect. Hidden trait 5. He disappears when he feels overwhelmed. One of the most confusing hidden traits of the Aquarius man is that he disappears when he feels overwhelmed. This does not always mean physically disappearing, but emotionally and mentally stepping back. When life becomes too stressful, when emotions become too intense, or when expectations feel too heavy, his first reaction is distance. Instead of asking for help immediately, he prefers to handle things alone. He may answer messages slowly, cancel plans, or spend more time by himself. To others, this behavior can look cold or irresponsible. However, for him, it is a way to reset his mind. He believes that space helps him think clearly. When too many people demand his attention at the same time, he feels mentally crowded. In relationships, this can be especially difficult for his partner. They may think he is losing interest or pulling away permanently, but often he simply needs time to organize his thoughts and emotions. He does not like feeling pressured to explain himself while he is still confused. If someone pushes him during this period, he may retreat even more. What he truly needs is calm understanding, not confrontation. Once he regains balance, he usually returns with more clarity and stability. This hidden trait shows that his distance is not always rejection. It is self-protection. He handles pressure internally before reconnecting. Understanding this behavior can prevent unnecessary misunderstandings and help build a relationship based on patience and emotional intelligence. Hidden trait 6. He tests people without telling them. One of the least talked about hidden traits of the Aquarius man is that he tests people without telling them. He does not do this in a manipulative or cruel way, but in a quiet and observational way. Before he fully trusts someone, he watches carefully. He listens more than he speaks. He notices how a person reacts to small disagreements, how they treat others, and how consistent their words and actions are. He rarely confronts someone directly at the beginning. Instead, he collects information silently. If someone says they value honesty, he pays attention to whether they actually tell the truth in small situations. If someone claims to respect freedom, he observes how they react when he needs space. These small tests are not dramatic, but they are important to him. Trust is not automatic for the Aquarius man. It is built slowly through behavior, not promises. In relationships, this can create confusion. His partner may not realize they are being observed so carefully. He may seem relaxed and easygoing, but internally, he is evaluating compatibility. He asks himself questions like, is this person emotionally stable? Do they respect boundaries? Can they handle independence? If someone fails these silent tests, he may slowly reduce his emotional investment without creating conflict. He prefers quiet withdrawal over open confrontation when he feels disappointed. However, if someone passes these tests, something changes inside him. He becomes more open, more expressive, and more committed. His loyalty becomes strong because it is based on evidence, not impulse. Understanding this hidden trait explains why he sometimes appears distant in the early stages of a relationship. He is not uninterested. He is observing, analyzing, and deciding whether you are safe enough for his inner world. Hidden trait 7. He struggles with traditional expectations. One of the most misunderstood hidden traits of the Aquarius man is that he struggles with traditional expectations. Society often creates clear rules about how a man should behave, how he should express love, how he should build a career, and even how he should show strength. The Aquarius man quietly questions these rules. He does not automatically accept traditions just because they are common. Instead, he asks himself whether they truly make sense. In relationships, this can create tension. Some partners may expect him to act in a very traditional, romantic way, showing constant emotional intensity or following predictable patterns. However, he prefers authenticity over performance. If he feels forced to behave in a way that does not feel natural, he becomes uncomfortable. He values equality and freedom in relationships, not control or fixed roles. Professionally, he may also choose unusual career paths or work environments that allow creativity and independence. He does not like feeling trapped in systems that limit innovation. This does not mean he is rebellious without reason. He simply wants logic and fairness behind every rule. When he feels pressured to follow expectations that do not align with his beliefs, he may resist silently. Instead of arguing loudly, he might distance himself or choose a different direction entirely. This hidden trait explains why he can seem unpredictable to more traditional people. He is not trying to create conflict, he is trying to live honestly. When he finds people who respect his unconventional mindset, he becomes more cooperative and open. He thrives in environments where individuality is appreciated. Understanding this trait helps others see that his independence is not disrespect. It is a deep need to live according to his own principles rather than external pressure. Hidden trait 8. He wants love, but he fears losing himself. One of the deepest hidden traits of the Aquarius man is that he truly wants love, but he fears losing himself inside a relationship. He is not against commitment. In fact, when he chooses someone, he can be loyal and long-term focused. However, what he fears is emotional dependency. He has a strong sense of identity and independence, and he protects it carefully. When a relationship begins to demand too much control, constant emotional reassurance, or strict routines, he starts to feel trapped. This feeling does not appear suddenly. It grows slowly inside him. At first, he may try to adjust and stay calm. But if the pressure continues, he begins to withdraw emotionally. This is not because he does not love the person. It is because he feels his individuality is in danger. He wants a partner who adds to his life, not someone who replaces his freedom. He believes love should support growth, not limit it. In many cases, he struggles silently between his desire for connection and his need for space. He may ask himself whether he can be close to someone without sacrificing his independence. This inner conflict can make him look inconsistent. One day he may be affectionate and engaged. The next day he may seem distant and reflective. What he really needs is a partner who understands that space does not mean rejection. When he feels respected and trusted, he relaxes. When he feels controlled, he protects himself. Understanding this hidden trait explains why he sometimes moves slowly in relationships. He is not afraid of love itself. He is afraid of losing his identity while loving someone deeply. Hidden trait 9, he can emotionally switch off. One of the most surprising and rarely discussed traits of the Aquarius man is his ability to emotionally switch off. When he feels deeply disappointed, betrayed, or mentally exhausted, something changes inside him. Instead of reacting with anger or dramatic confrontation, he may suddenly become calm and detached. It can look like he no longer cares. In reality, this is a protective mechanism. When he realizes that a situation is not healthy or that his efforts are not respected, he does not always fight for it loudly. He analyzes, decides internally, and then disconnects. This shift can be shocking for his partner because it may happen quietly. One day he is engaged and thoughtful, and the next day he feels distant and emotionally unavailable. What many people do not understand is that this switch does not happen easily. It is usually the result of repeated disappointments or broken trust. He gives chances, often more than others realize. But once he feels that his core values are violated, he protects himself by shutting down emotionally. This does not mean he never feels sadness. He does. However, he prefers silent acceptance over emotional chaos. He believes that once something is clearly unhealthy, continuing to argue will not fix it. This ability makes him appear strong and independent, but it can also make him seem cold. Understanding this hidden trait is important because it explains why the Aquarius man may leave a situation without dramatic warning. He does not explode, he disconnects. And once that internal decision is made, it is very difficult to reverse. Hidden trait 10, he loves with vision, not just emotion. The most powerful hidden trait of the Aquarius man is that when he truly loves, he loves with vision, not just emotion. Many people think he is detached or afraid of deep connection, but the truth is more complex. He does not fall in love quickly because he is not looking only for attraction or passion. He is looking for alignment. When he chooses someone, he imagines the future. He asks himself silent questions. Can we grow together? Can we think together? Can we build something meaningful? For him, love is not only about feelings in the moment, it is about shared direction. This is why he may take longer to commit. He is not playing games, he is evaluating long-term compatibility. Once he decides that someone fits into his vision of the future, something shifts. He becomes surprisingly steady, protective, and loyal. He may not always express love with dramatic words, but he shows it through consistency and respect. He supports his partner's independence instead of limiting it. He wants both people to grow, not to shrink for each other. His love is mature. It is based on mutual respect, mental connection, and shared values. If he sees that the relationship has no future direction, he will not pretend. But if he sees potential, he invests seriously. This hidden trait explains why the Aquarius man is not emotionally shallow, as some people believe. He simply loves differently. He loves with purpose, And when you are part of his long-term vision, you are not just someone he cares about today, you are someone he chooses for tomorrow.
You made it to the end, and that already says something about you. In this video, we explored the 10 hidden traits of the Aquarius man. We talked about his emotional distance, his silent tests, his need for freedom, his sensitivity, and the way he loves with vision, not just emotion. Now the question is for you. Which of these traits surprised you the most? If you are an Aquarius man, which one describes you best? And if you know one, did you recognize him in these traits? Write your thoughts in the comments. Also, tell us which celebrity in this video you recognized. This is a B1 English listening practice, so if it helped you improve step by step, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Keep practicing, keep growing, and we will see you in the next video.